Good morning and welcome to the new series of interviews by me. I'm Callie. I work for Advaya and my eco resolution, and I'm conducting a series of interviews with local charities and initiatives. Today we're going to be talking to Family Meal, and we have Chris with us. Hi, Chris.
Hi,
How are you doing?
fantastic, very well.
Great. I like your outfit. Is that like Family Meal merch?
This is all of our merchandise. It will very soon be available to the public. We're only having them for our employees at the moment. But as we look to transition into sort of other sources of revenue, because you can't really rely on donations forever, we're going to be starting to sell our merch. So yeah.
Cool, that sounds really good. Okay, amazing. So let's get started. To start, I'd love to hear a little bit about who you are and what you're up to at the moment.
Okay, so my name's Chris Evans Gordon. I am a professional chef. I'm a part owner of the Little Door Company, which runs the Little Blue Door, the Little Yellow Door, and the soon-to-be Little Orange Door in Clapham. I've been a chef for about 10 years, worked in kind of a multitude of different places. I've recently set up a non-profit organization, fingers crossed soon to be registered official charity. Our paperwork has been sent off. And we have been providing free meals to the NHS, to frontline workers, and to just those in need in general for the last couple of weeks.
Congratulations. I'm really happy to hear that you're in the process of getting registered as a charity. That's super exciting news. I wanted to talk a little bit about that you're all very young and this is your first kind of venture into this kind of work, right?
Yeah, so I'm 27 myself. My co-founder, Aidan Christopherson, is also 27. We have an average age in the company of 26. And we're all just sort of young people. Everyone I tell my age is very surprised for some reason. I don't really understand why. But yeah, we're just a young group of friends who were viciously bored during lockdown, and thought, a lot of us are hospitality workers, so we're all on furlough. So we have money coming in, so we might as well be doing something. About a week and a half into lockdown starting, I was talking to one of my sous chefs, and we were very, very bored of just sitting at home and doing nothing. So I decided to contact some COVID support groups on Facebook, where I put some messages out at about 1:30 in the morning on a Friday night, and I got a response about 15 minutes from the London Ambulance Service, who requested 150 meals for Easter Sunday. So we just thought, let's go for it. Why not? Pull the trigger. 3 of us got down in the kitchen, prepped all morning, and delivered the meals about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then after we'd done that sort of first day, that's what really sort of kicked us off into thinking we could do this more long term. We've got the facilities, we've got the staffing, we can source the ingredients. Let's go for it.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool, because I think you mentioned at the beginning as well, like you're actually a professional chef. Yes, you're a professional chef. You're a professional.
Our team is based on employees from my various bars and restaurants, and we started with just sort of our employees, but then literally within 2 or 3 days, I'd had 40 messages through from people just saying, I want to get involved, how can I come and help? So now we've got a pool of about 40 different volunteers that we're working with, some doing drop-off, some doing vegetable chopping, everyone kind of tucking in wherever they can. And yeah, we've just today broken our production record. So we managed to knock out 864 meals in one day, which is our personal record here. So feeling very good at the moment.
That's amazing. So am I correct in understanding that that's 800 plus meals that are going to go to like NHS workers and the vulnerable who need it?
Yesterday, we reached our 15,000 meal milestone.
Congratulations.
15,000 meals produced, cooked, and delivered by us to those in need, working with the Felix project and another charity called Food for Heroes, and then doing our own direct drops. And then today we just broke our production record, which is 864 meals in one day.
That's insane. Well done. That's really, really amazing. It's really lovely, and it's really uplifting as well to see this kind of power of community during crisis. And because you said that you've got a lot of volunteers and people, doing drop-offs, and your colleagues who are like preparing the meals with you. Like, I think that's something really, really special, that we can come together in a time like this and do something for each other. Like, I think that's really, really special. And I think we had talked the other day, and you said something about community, and especially in Fulham or something. Not that it's unique to Fulham, sorry.
Not that community is in any way unique to anywhere, but what we found is, so we started, and in sort of weeks 1 or 2, we didn't have any advertising outside. We weren't really interacting that much with the local community. So then my co-founder, Aidan Christofferson, came up with a brilliant idea of putting some billboards on the outside of our restaurant. And then since then, we've received a huge amount of donations, a huge amount of support, a huge amount of different people, all who have just walked past the front of our restaurant on a day. I've had hundreds of texts from people just saying, "Hi, my name's Stephanie. I've just come past your restaurant. I love what you're doing. Is there any way I can help out? Is there any way I can do that?" And I was actually surprised by how much support we got, because I thought people are kind of very much looking to kind of look after themselves at the moment. But the sense of community I felt from our locals and from our sort of local support teams and local restaurants has been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There's been days where we haven't been able to get our takeaway containers for whatever reason. There's various problems with the supply chain and everything at the moment. But on days when I haven't managed to get hold of containers, I've called up local places down the road and I said, "Look, guys, is there any chance you can help me out? I've got to knock out about 700 meals today. If you've got some containers, I can get more and I can get them back for you tomorrow." And at every single opportunity, every single time I've needed something, I've been able to source it within a 5-minute walk of my own restaurant, which is quite a majestic thing.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I'm really happy to hear it's going so well. You mentioned something previously, just now, about containers, which is actually something I'd quite like to talk to you about, because I have heard that you're using eco-friendly packaging, which is obviously what I'm all about. So
yeah, we're using these wonderful containers that are made by a company called Biopack. Get them in the light there, give them a little bit of a shout out. These containers are 100% compostable. They're all made from cane fiber, and they have, I've been cooking for about 10 years, so I've used a lot of different takeaway containers. And these have a genius sealing system by which you place the lid on the top here, and then these sides fold in and fold in. And then that is now a waterproof, microwave-safe container that is 100% compostable. And that for me is just absolutely fantastic, because when we first started, we were using plastic containers, and my co-founder and I, Aidan, were having a conversation. We dreamt up this horrible situation in that we were just walking down the road and we saw one of our plastic boxes of food labeled, just sitting on the side of the road. And that really, the sort of concept and idea of that upset us quite a bit. So we thought, what can we do to kind of accentuate everything that we're doing? So we then managed to source these amazing containers from Biopack. And they are a little bit more expensive than plastic, but it is, for me, 100% worth it, because plastics are seriously detrimental to the health of the planet at the moment. And it's very easy to forget one cause when you're trying to help another cause. Nearly all of the other companies producing meals in London at the moment are using plastic containers. So we thought, how do we distinguish ourselves? How do we do something a little bit different? So we decided to opt for the slightly more expensive option, but the definitely more responsible option of going for a 100% compostable takeaway container.
Yeah, of course. And that's actually something that I really love about what you guys are doing. And from our previous conversation as well, I remembered, because like a big part of what we've been thinking about here at Advaya and my eco resolution is kind of how oftentimes when we're trying to do one good thing, we can neglect another good thing. And that's like through no fault of our own. It's just, it's very natural, I think, for humans to forget about other stuff. But, you know, if the planet isn't healthy, there's no hope for the rest of us. So it's really inspiring. And I'm really happy to see that you guys are taking this opportunity to kind of, you know, be not only socially responsible, but like environmentally responsible, which ultimately I suppose is also socially responsible. But no, it's really, really impressive because like, I don't know, I think it's an aspect that people can forget. And also, as you mentioned, it's like a bit more expensive on your end to do that. But I imagine it makes an enormous difference in the long run for everyone. Do you think we will be fortunate enough to see this continue after Corona? And if so, how so?
So yeah, definitely. This is there's a massive food crisis in London before we started any of this. Before the COVID-19 kind of scenario hit, there were children going to school in London without food, which is something that I'm personally not okay with. I think that being a first world country in the capital city of a hugely economically successful city, the fact that there are children going to school without food is a fairly unbearable state of affairs for me personally. So we're gonna basically use this COVID period as a launch pad, and I think that the whole COVID situation as a whole can act as a launch pad for lots and lots and lots of really, really important movements. That like things like we've looked at the aeroplanes, we've looked at how much change has been made because we've been forced to make this change. And I think it's now our responsibility to carry on those changes and use as much that we've learned from these things to continue things on. So if my restaurants reopen, when my restaurants reopen, we'll be slightly more limited on what production days we can do, but we are going to be acting like a chameleon and sort of readjusting ourselves and maintaining as much of what we're doing as we can in continuance after COVID, because I think that we may not need to feed hospitals as much, but there are refugees, there are homeless people, there are orphans, there are a huge amount of different sets of people that have been struggling with food. And we are aiming to make this a permanent thing where we will, on a weekly basis, be producing X amount of meals per week and distributing them in whatever way that we can. It won't be quite as easy post-COVID because people will be going back to work. I'll probably see my volunteer pool drop down slightly, but we will definitely be continuing this on post-COVID, 100%.
Amazing. That's really lovely to hear. And I think what you said is really, really true. I agree. It's unacceptable in a first world country that we have situations where you've got children going to school where they can't eat, or, you know, refugees. That's really heartbreaking. And I think you're right. I think we can use this period for introspection and to ameliorate ourselves, all of us, as a society. And I think it's really, really great that that's your vision. And I'm really excited to see what you do post-COVID, and I wish you the best of luck with it. I think it's going to be something really special. So very well done. I think on that note, with ameliorating yourself, if somebody wanted to ameliorate themselves and help you out, how could they do so?
Well, there's a couple of ways to help us out. We have a website set up at familymeal.org.uk, where on our homepage there's a donation link. And unlike other organizations that have set up, we don't charge any companies for the meals that we produce. So everything that every pound that we take in produces one meal for someone who really needs it at the moment. So even the smallest donation of £5 feeds 5 people for a day. So that is something I think that's wonderful about us, in that we aren't all of the money that we take in is being put directly into making meals for people. We don't charge any companies for the meals that we're making. There are a lot of companies that are charging hospitals £1, £2, £3 for a meal, and everything that we have sent out of our kitchen has not been paid for. It has been produced, cooked, packaged, and delivered for free by us. So anything, any money that anyone can give us really, really does make a huge difference. So that's sort of one aspect of it. And then if you're in the sort of West London area and don't have much on and are looking for something that you can sort of come and help out at, we have a volunteers page on our website as well. And if you sign up on there, we will get you in to come and peel some onions for those in need.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Especially, I mean, I'm aware of charities not necessarily distributing the money the way you might think. I'm not going to, poo-poo anyone here, but there are a few charities that spring to mind where the amount of profit that's being made or going to places you wouldn't expect is phenomenal. So that's really amazing and really lovely to hear about your transparency and how all the money is going where it should. Like it's really impressive, to be honest. Not only is it lovely, it's an impressive feat. So very well done.
Well, another thing, people might see our sort of merchandise and our hats and everything and think, oh God, I'm not paying people to wear t-shirts. All of this has been donated. All of the t-shirts, all of the hats, all of the masks that we're wearing, everything has been donated. So every single pound that we have taken off someone has been put straight into making a meal. We've currently raised about £14,500 on Just Eat, on Just Giving. And we have a set of private donations coming in that are taking a little bit more time because they are coming from charitable trusts, and we're in the process of registering at the moment, but haven't fully got the registration in. So of the something like £13,500 I've taken out of our Just Giving page, we've produced a surplus of 15,000 meals with that. So we originally started with the sort of brief of £1.50 makes a meal, but with the scale that we've managed to move up to, we are now producing meals for less than £1 per box. And that will continue as long as people keep giving us money. As long as we have money, we will produce meals at as large a quantity as we can.
That's really amazing. That's really, really amazing. And I can only congratulate you all on what you're doing. And I can also personally attest, not that it's very relevant, but I can personally attest, I was speaking with your co-founder, Aidan, regarding a particular matter that I wanted to help with. And he said, that he didn't want any money that's going into family meal to be used on anything except for the meals, which I think is really wonderful. And not that my opinion matters that much, but I've seen it with my own two eyes before we actually agreed on doing this interview. So yeah, very, very well done. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much.
Fantastic. It was a pleasure talking to you also. And thank you so much for talking to us.